In the previous part we saw that Lee Young was taking over the commander's job by leading the army. The commander says to him that he is very talented. He asks him to be the new commander. A blue box pops up. If he accepts, he gets a monthly salary of 50 silver coins, but he declines the offer since he wants to roam around freely and assist the soldiers in the battlefield when they are in need of help. The commander tells him that he can contact him if he changes his mind, but the commander then still asks him if he can lead a group of 10 people who really admire him. He trusts his capability as a leader. They are listening to him and learning a lot from him. Lee Young understands this and accepts the offers. He's thinking of ways to use this in his advantage. They advance to the 3rd floor and he announces that he will now lead the small group of people. With his strategy, they quickly progress to the cave by easily clearing the 4th and 5th floor. As Lee Young leads the group, he gets a lot of experience passively, so he quickly became level 62, but the quest he was assigned still did not decrease in the monster kill count, even though they killed a lot of monsters. The commander then tells him that the extermination ended, and that they were able to exterminate the cave thanks to him. The commander and the soldiers will return to the kingdom. They ask Lee Young to ride back with them, but he declines the offer since he has to do something else in the cave. He still hasn't cleared the quest of Sage Rodriguez. The commander now understands why he didn't accept his job. He wanted to return with him, but he can't force him, so he gives him a gift to thank him. Lee Young is very happy since he almost ran out of money, but the gift wasn't something Lee Young was hoping for. He gives him the horse that wasn't listening at all. Lee Young then tells the commander that he doesn't need a horse, but the commander insists. One of the soldiers thanks him again, since Lee Young is the reason why he can return home alive. One of the soldiers will treat him to a feast if he returns to the kingdom. We are now back at the castle of Sage Rodriguez, where he talks with one of his knights. He asks him if his walk was nice. Sage Rodriguez replies that it was, since he has nothing to worry about these days. The knight then asks him if he remembered the man that was sculpting in front of his house. Sage Rodriguez replies that he remembers, since he bothered him for such a long time to ask him a stupid question, but he tells his knight not to fear since he will not find a certain place. There is a special place in the cave that will give him the job he desires. Back to the cave where Lee Young meets a boy who is also on a quest. He was looking all over the cave for the special place Sage Rodriguez promised him. He's starting to think that the sage fooled him, but he thinks there is no way that an NPC could lie, so there must be a special place where this quest is related to. He's looking left and right and sees the horse that he got as a gift, but suddenly he gets attacked by a goblin. The horse got afraid, so it runs away. Lee Young wants to stop him, so he throws a rock at him. The rock hits the horse right in the face, so he falls down. Lee Young then walks towards the horse as he notices something. He sees a small cave where the horse just landed. It might be the special place he's looking for. A blue box pops up. He's the first one to find the entrance to the hidden Lithvard demonic cave. His drops and experience will be ×2 for a full week. He enters the cave, but a monster appears right away. The cave is full of bugs. The small ones are on the ground, but they try to attack him. It's easy for him to deflect them, but the big monster is coming as well. The big monster insect is giving birth to the small ones while facing weed. Lee Young doesn't pay attention, so the monster poisons him. This makes him lose 1 hit point per second. He tells the monster that he will kill him before he dies, but the poison is having more effect on him than he anticipated. He wonders if he's going to die like this. He wished that he had a proper skill. He then gets reminded that he actually has one. He obtained a sculpting blade, but he didn't use it yet. He takes out his blade and tries to attack the monster. He feels a mysterious power coming off the sculpting blade, so he uses the power to take down the insect. He strikes the insect in his stomach, which damages him a lot. The insect has been taken down. He got barely rid of him, but Lee Young immediately leveled up. He again checks if the quest progressed, and 1 monster of the 100 was taken down. 99 monsters remain to kill. He has to kill them all, and there is also a boss of this cave, but the poison still affects him. He needs to find a cure as soon as possible, but he can't ask other users for help. They won't believe that he was poisoned inside a cave where only kobolds and goblins live. So he exits the cave and wants to ride his horse, but the horse is again not listening. He cuts his hand open and walks towards the horse. He wants to poison the horse as well, so they have the same problem. The horse gets scared and tries to run away. He puts his hand in his mouth, which poisons the horse also. The horse now also loses 1 hit point per second, so Lee Young's plan worked. The horse now also needs a cure, so he decided to cooperate in order to find one. After they found the market, they have both been cured from the poison. Lee Young is now ready to fight the insects again. It should be now doable for him. So he returns to the cave and kills all the insects. He quickly reduced the number to 72, and then to 27. The monsters have a low level, but they are hard to fight in a group. He expects to get an awesome job after such a hard quest. He cannot believe that this is an advancement quest. He believes that the job that he will get will make him very good money. He is now at the last monster, which is the insect boss of the cave. He is determined to kill the monster, but it's far bigger than him. He rushes forward as he tries to get closer. This monster is again able to spout poison at him, but he still has an antidote in stock, so he charges in. He needs to get closer to cut the insect with the sculpting blade, but it's very hard with the poison. He notices that the insect can't use the poison. For a while, once he used it, Li Yang then jumps behind him and uses his special attack, Sculpting Blade Dance. He gets a quest reward. It's a letter from an old emperor. No one acknowledged his job, so he let everything he had to offer here. Li Yang now finally finished the job quest successfully. He didn't believe that his quest actually had a reward. It rewards him with a hidden class. He thinks that there is no need to think about a job offer. Since it was an emperor's job, he will accept it immediately without looking at it. All his stats immediately get raised by plus 20. This makes him more powerful in an instant. He also rose in his artistic power, since he again got the same class offer as he got earlier. He became a sculptor as he accepted the job. Now, we are back at Sage Rodriguez's castle. He didn't think it was possible for him to clear the quest, but Li Yang is so disappointed that he became a sculptor, since he knew that sculptors made almost no money, and his main focus was to make money. But he realizes that he can make this class strong, since there are a lot of mysteries surrounding this class. He decides to read the rest of the letter as well. The Emperor loved his sculptures. His descent should not give up no matter what. As he progresses further, he will be the master of sculptures. He also got a special item as a gift, which made his mana go up by 200. He already wanted to test his skills. His current mastery is at 0%. His sword skill will go up by 1% per sculpting level. He brought the letter from the dungeon caves and gave it to Sage Rodriguez. In return, he got a relic of the Emperor. The house of Sage Rodriguez belonged to the bloodline of the Emperor. Sage Rodriguez finally has been freed from the duty of the Emperor, and Li Yang is going to continue his legacy. The sage does not know the mystery about sculpting either, but Li Yang needs to progress so that the puzzle will come to pieces. He is now sculpting on the street to make some money. A man walks up to him to make a special sculpture. He asks him what kind of sculpture he should make. The man then tells Li Yang that he is going to propose to his wife. He deeply loves her and he has always protected her. He became a paladin in order to protect her. He enjoyed being together with her, and he now knew her for 7 years. Their love grew as time passed, but he still feels joy when he sees her, so he wants her to give a present that she will never forget. Li Yang tells him that it isn't that simple, but people around him love his story, so Li Yang needs to make something good to get their attention. The man then again kneels for him and asks him for the request. He holds Li Yang so hard that he loses hit points. The man then gives him the material where he should work with. He decides to use elf food to make the sculpture, but it's too large to make a single flower, so he decides to make a bouquet with separate flowers. He is sculpting as hard as he can, and the people around him watch what he is doing and they are loving it. Li Yang realizes that if he fails that he will lose a lot of clients. His sculpting level is pretty low, so he needs to do his best. He finally created a beautiful bouquet of wood. His sculpting skills went up a lot since he gained a lot of experience. It will rise more because he's creating genuine art instead of sellable products. He gave the sculptured bouquet of wood to the man. He cannot believe that it was made of wood, and the people around him are also calling him a genius. The man wants to pay, but as he looks in his pockets, he tells Li Yang that he lost his money. Li Yang states that if he can't find his money, he will take his bouquet back. But then suddenly he found 2 gold coins and 90 silver coins in his pocket. Li Yang asks him the 10 extra silver coins he owes. He then gives Li Yang a book that is worth the same amount. It's about an island in the sky, and Li Yang thinks that this is ridiculous since this is not possible. Everyone should see it when it is in the sky, but he takes it anyway. The book is called The Lost City of the Versailles Continent Part 4. He accepts this trade only on one condition, that he succeeds in his proposal with his bouquet. The man then thanks him a lot, and Li Yang thinks that he will have a wonderful wedding. But then the man transforms into his fighting armor. His armor costs at least a few thousand gold pieces. This makes sense, as the man mentioned that he played for 7 years, since he knew his wife this long. The man then says that he really wanted to give Lee Young this book, but Lee Young lets it slide. He then gets a message from his party member to meet up. He asks Lee Young how he has been doing and why he didn't contact them for so long. He told them that he had his own reasons, but he was busy by exterminating the Lizard Cave. Meanwhile, in a small village called Barren Village, people are working in the hot weather. It's always peaceful there. But then suddenly, a group of monsters attack the village. Back to Weed, where he meets up with his crew. They reunite and ask him how he has been doing. They state that it was impossible to contact him. They ask him to join his punitive force. While she hugs her, his crew member looks jealously at him. They all tell each other how much they have progressed. They are all around level 50 and Lee Young is now around level 60. But they still think that he is weaker than them. Only the ones above level 30 are able to apply for a punitive force. They ask him if he chose a class yet. He wonders if he should tell the truth about the legendary Moonlight sculpture, but he does not, and he tells them that he is just a sculptor. They ask him if it is a combat sculptor, but he tells them it's not. And they again think that he has a weaker class, so he must be weaker than them. But they still want them to join him. They head to their first mission. Their destination is Barren Village, the village that just had been attacked. Lee Young is talking to a man on his way. He got information about the attack, so he gathers his crew. He tells them to listen carefully. He tells them that they should trust no one the moment they arrive at Barren Village.